Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of rebuilding my GMC Sonoma. Now if you guys are new here, you may want to consider subscribing and smashing that notification bell because this Sonoma right here behind me is almost halfway done. And trust me guys, you really don't want to miss out on the finished product. It's going to be amazing. So as you guys already seen in the intro, I went ahead and took all the parts off the truck that we're going to be working on today. So it's just chilling here on jack stands once again. Seems to be a recurring theme for this thing. Now right here is all the stuff that you guys watched me take off, except for you didn't see those come off and you didn't see me take the lower front control arms off. But now that I've got everything sitting right here on the floor, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this stuff up sitting on this cardboard. So my thought there is that this cardboard will probably soak up all of the brake cleaner that I'm gonna be using, because all these parts they're not really too rusty, but they are really greasy. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all those parts nice and cleaned up. And for those of you that seen the video of where I painted the brake calipers on the SS, then you already know exactly how this is gonna go down. And right here are all the products that I'm gonna be using today, guys. And yes, you can see there, I am painting these calipers the same color that I did the SS. And the reason for that is because it's gonna go pretty well with the color of the Sonoma there. So the first thing I'll be doing is using brake and parts cleaner to clean everything up like I was just saying. And then I'm gonna use this wax and grease remover after I scuff them all up with these here wire brushes. Same exact process I did on the SS here, guys, except for the one thing I didn't do on the SS is I did not use this stuff right here. And I really think that this right here is gonna be the way to go before I paint everything. The way I actually did it on the SS, if you haven't seen that video, is I didn't use this stuff, but what I did do is I went with a silver base coat before I applied the blue here, and it really worked out well. I had the truck for a year and it held up amazingly. It never chipped off once, even through the winter. And then so that's what I'm gonna do. After everything's nice and cleaned up, I'll prime them with this Loctite rust neutralizer, and then I'm gonna paint them with this blue metal cast, and then after that's all set up, I'll clear coat them to give them that nice gloss finish. And then you see this semi-gloss black engine paint here, that is going to be for the spindles and the dust shields. The calipers are the only thing that I'm going to be painting blue, along with the rear brake drum covers. And then over here, guys, as you can see, I did get my sway bar, and I do got my new sway bar end links because these ones are busted off. And they're also busted off on the lower control arms. This one is completely snapped off down low. Sorry about the lighting in here. Let me just give me a second, guys. You guys can see that this one right here is busted off pretty far down there. That one over there is also broke off. So that's why I got my new sway bar links. And then right here, you guys, well, some of you have probably seen the video where I went to change these out and found out they were cut. So I went ahead and just stuck the cut ones back in because they are actually shorter than the lowering springs. But my buddy told me that the lowering springs are actually going to be a softer compression than these stock springs. So when we put the truck back together, we're going back with the blue lowering springs, and hopefully that'll drop the truck down pretty low without having to buy new drop spindles, because I believe those are just stock spindles, they're not drop spindles. So once these are in and the engine and transmission go back in, I'm hoping that drops the front end of the truck down quite a bit. I really don't want to get into how much it's going to cost me to air ride the front end of the truck, because the rear end isn't really a true air ride. I mean, it kind of is, but it's just like a half frame notch. It's not a full C notch. So I don't want to have to air ride the front end because it's really unnecessary. So hopefully this spring process that we've got going on here will work out just fine. But if not, then we'll address that issue when the time comes. So enough of me yapping and gabbing on this camera, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get all these parts cleaned up. That way we can paint them. And it's definitely gonna change the look of that truck big time. And after this, we should just go ahead and start focusing on getting the motor and stuff in the truck. Because the only other thing we have after that is to get the bed finished, which is like rhino-line the inside of it. And I can't do that until I box in the sub area. And you guys, you and I both know that the price of metal and any kind of material is through the freaking roof right now. So I'm trying to hold off on doing the sheet metal for the sub box. Got a freaking fly or something flying around in here, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to hold off on buying the material to box in the sub box in the bed, because it's just crazy expensive right now. So that's probably going to be like the last thing we do. Right now, my main focus is to get all this stuff done in this video, and then we're going to see about getting that motor and transmission in the truck so that we can at least drive this thing. And then I'll focus on the bed, and we can undercoat the frame with the truck running and driving. That's not going to be a big deal. So let's go ahead and get into today's video, you guys. I know you're dying to see this happen, so let's get it. Alright guys, so as you just seen, everything is cleaned up, ready for paint. And I went ahead and threw together this little wood hanger thing to hang my brake calipers up so they can be painted. That way I can paint them all the way around at once. As far as what I said we were going to be using here, this Loctite stuff, I didn't realize on the instructions here, it says that it takes 24 hours to set up. And it also says that you can only, where does it say that at? I didn't realize it when I bought it, but it says somewhere. Yeah, okay, so I didn't realize it when I bought this stuff, but it says to top coat with an oil-based paint only. And the problem with that is that all these paints that I'm going to be using are not oil-based. They're all an enamel. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my black engine paint, because I'm pretty sure that this stuff is, yeah, so this stuff right here, you can apply it straight to the metal after you've prepped it like I've done. You don't have to have primer. So we're going to use that stuff on the brake calipers and probably on the dust shield. Then on this guy here, I was unable to get the wheel bearing separated from the spindle. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint it the way it is and try to keep all the paint off that wheel bearing as best I can. And that's all going to get painted black too, along with this other spindle. I'm going to paint my lower control arms and the sway bar here with some undercoat, some frame undercoat that I have right here. So that's what I'm going to be using on those. And then once that's done, we'll go ahead and paint the brake calipers and the rear drums. But first I need to get the truck covered in plastic and probably wait till these other vehicles can be out of the driveway so we don't get any overspray on them. So you guys just So I'll get back with you guys as soon as that's done. And just like that, it's time to paint. Alrighty guys, so it's the next day here. Everything's nice and cured out so we can get the truck back together. But I want to show you guys how this color turned out with that blue over the black, because it's definitely not blue. So I'm going to take it out here. It's not really sunny out right now. I think it's going to storm soon, so we're going to have to get this truck back together pretty quick. But so as you can see, it isn't exactly black, but it isn't exactly blue. It's kind of more of a purple, and with it being cloudy, you really can't see the true color of it. So I'm going to try to hit it with this flashlight. So I don't know if you can tell, this just ain't working out very well. You can kind of make out it has a real purple color to it. There we go. It looks more purple than blue, which I think I'm fine with that, because if you see the truck in the sunlight, it's got a purple, like a purple hue to it. You can almost make it out right here. It's because of the pearl coat that's underneath the clear coat that's on it. So it looks pretty cool in person. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just leave the brake calipers the color that they turned out. But like I said guys, it looks like it's about to rain on us. So we're gonna hustle up and get this thing back together so I can put it back in the garage. That way I don't take the chance of any hail or anything like that getting on it. So I'm gonna throw you guys on the tripod. We're gonna get this baby back together. Check it out guys, truck's back together on its wheels, and man, the brake calipers turned out pretty sweet. They look almost black. You can make it out right there. They kind of shift over to that bluish purple. I think it's gonna look awesome in the sunlight. But we even got our new sway bar. Well, not new sway bar, but we got some new sway bar end links down there. You can kind of make them out, put the sway bar back on, so that way once we get our new tie rods in, we can get it aligned and these wheels will sit straight. Because right now it kind of, this one curves in a little bit and that one over there sits straight. But as for now, that'll do good. Let's get a nice little side view to this bad boy. Haven't done that in a while. I do have the gas door. I just took it off so I could put that little plastic thing in there that holds the gas cap in. But check that out guys, we're gonna be sitting pretty sweet here before too long. And it sits pretty low in the rear. hopefully the front end will drop down quite a bit when we get that motor and trans in there. I don't think it's gonna drop down that much, but it should drop down quite a bit. And if it doesn't, we'll probably see about throwing on some drop spindles on the front. Probably what we're gonna have to do anyway. So that's probably gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. Oh, got in the dark there. If you guys enjoyed today's content, smash that like button. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. And just like that, catch you guys in the next one.